President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the immediate disengagement from service of Mr. Abdullahi Abdulrashid Maina, former chairman of the Presidential Task Force on Pension Reforms. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, President Buhari, in a memo to the head of Civil Service of the Federation, the President equally demanded a full report of the circumstances of Maina's recall and posting to the Ministry of Interior. According to the statement, the report is to be submitted to the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President, Malam Abba Kyari, before the end of work on Monday, October 23rd.
The Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to determine the circumstances surrounding the resurface and restatement of former head of Presidential Task Force on Pension Reform, Abdulrashid Maina, into civil service. The ad hoc committee is made up of chairman and vice chairman of Standing Senate Committee on Public Service and Establishment, Internal Affairs, Judiciary, and Anti-Corruption. It will be recalled that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has since declared Abdulrashid Maina wanted on corruption charges. At the plenary, Senator Issam Misau from Bauchi Central raised the issue of suspicion return and restatement of Abdulrashid Maina into civil service.
Somebody on wanted list by the EFCC for fraud-related matters left the country for so many years and he was dismissed from the public service. And all of a sudden, that person came back, not only came back to the country, he came back and smuggled some people close to the government, smuggled him into the public service. When the person left, he left as assistant director. But when he was coming back, he was given a position of director, not even a deputy director, Mr. President. And this person that is on wanted list, Mr. President, when he came back to the country, people are seeing him with even policemen attached to him. So I don't understand why a government that is always talking about fighting corruption, then the same people who are close to the president are covering people that are highly corrupt in the society.
Many other senators who contributed to the debate on the floor of the Red Chamber supported the move by the Senate to investigate Abdulrashid Maina and those who aided his return and reinstatement into civil service.
As we know, a warrant of arrest was issued for him. So if he will return to Nigeria, first and foremost, he has to present himself and he has to explain the charges that were publicly levied against him.
Mr. President, the person who returned Maina, as we were told, is the Attorney General of the Federation. This is not the first time the Attorney General is doing something like this. Only recently, the Attorney General wrote his opinion to INEC that certificate of return should be withdrawn from me and given to somebody else. He wrote it. I have a copy of the letter. The Attorney General keep writing all sorts of letters as if there's no rule of law in this country.
This action must be handled with the strictest of hand. We are not going to wait for the executive to investigate. We, as the Senate, being the consciousness of the people of this country, as a true representation of the people of Nigeria, must investigate and bring to book any culprit that tries to undermine this country, Mr. President. If the Attorney General, like Atai has said, this is the same Attorney General who also wrote a legal opinion to INEC when he knows that a case that was decided by a court of first instance will go through to the Supreme Court, and even wrote to the Senate on my own matter. So one begins to wonder, are some people above the law?
Mr. President, it is pathetic. And I want to ask this question, and this question is to the executive arm of government. Should we continue in sin and ask grace to abound? No. Mr. President, time after time, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in this country have abused his office.
While rounding up the debate, Senate President Bukola Saraki asked the committee to leave no stone unturned in their assignment.
Prayer that another committee should be set up comprising of the Vice Chairman and Chairman of Establishment, Interior, Judiciary, and Anti-Corruption. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, let me thank all those who have contributed to these very important discussion. Honestly, distinguished colleagues, we are all very disturbed, and I would like the committee to work very hard to bring the result back to us on the investigation on this matter that really borders on the security, our fight against corruption, and how we manage our public service.
Meanwhile, the Senate has also passed a resolution to commend President Muhammadu Buhari for taking prompt action by asking for disengagement of Abdul Rashid Maina from service and calling for investigation. From Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
Minister of State for Education Professor Anthony Amuka has called on state government to show more commitment to the development of education's data for effective planning and policy making for the sector. The minister made the call in Abuja at the launch of Nigerian Digest of Education Statistics 2014 to 2016 and Nigerian Education Indicators 2016. Professor Amuka stressed the need for states to conduct annual school census, which he said would aid adequate record keeping.
Before now, a problem we had with data in the states, like is normal with all facets of Nigeria. The states felt if you falsify data and provide accurate information, maybe by increasing your population so as to get more revenue from the federal government. Well, that is not working anymore. Now we want to make sure that we develop our education system using accurate and reliable data, and that's why what we're doing today is very essential. SEMIS, you have a lot of work to do. Our development partners have assured you that funding won't be the problem, so that whatever they do, supplemented by the federal government, you should be able to generate adequate and reliable data, not approximation. For now, each time we want to use quote some data, we go to UNESCO records and they tell us, give us data that was in use about 10 years ago. It's unfortunate really, because we have not been doing very well with data generation in this country. If I stand up now and ask anybody here, what's the population of Nigeria? We approximate is about 170, 150, 160 million. That has been the bane of our planning in this country, particularly in education.
Earlier, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Sonny Echano, State education statistics are vital as they provide clear, objective, and numerical evidence in all aspects of lives.
Data plays a major role in shaping almost every aspect of human life, from administration to astronomy, biology to business, housing to health, engineering to the environment, commerce to community, marketing to management, industry to infrastructure, politics to policy, and even sports and strategy. Big data and analytics is one of the growth centers of a new knowledge-driven economy. How we gather, store, process, analyze, and utilize data constitute the most significant index in determining our global standing and competitiveness.
States like Sokoto, Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Anambra, and Lagos were commended for prioritizing and adopting a culture of planning in addressing the challenges of out-of-school children. In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
As political activities toward 2019 general election continue to gather momentum, a member of Nigerian Senate, Foster Ogola, has asked Nigerians to do away with the issue of presidential zoning. Senator Ogola, who represents Bayelsa West in the current 8th National Assembly, said the election into the office of the president should be on merit. The senator stated this in a chat with cross-section of journalists in Abuja.
I'm against zoning presidency to any corner of the country. It should be on merit. And then the man will not feel I came from here. Obama did not support blacks, even if he's a black. They claim he's a Muslim, he didn't support Muslims. Even if he's a Christian, we have seen him only going to church. So let's forget about where a president comes from. And this dichotomy of where you come and where you want to develop. Good luck was from the south and from my state, Bayelsa. But Bayelsa had nothing to show that Good Luck was the president of Nigeria, because he didn't concentrate anything there. Are you to blame others for his inaction?
He also explained zoning the office of the president will always create political tension and promote ethnicity and nepotism.
We agitated for zoning. Majority carried the vote. It was the Northerners who said, carry zoning into, I was in the Constitutional Conference 1994-95. We wrote this constitution that has been amended repeatedly. But we said, put it in the constitution. If you want zoning, then let it be in the constitution. If you want zoning, give the Jaws their own zone. Because we are fourth largest tribe in this country. Every census, we are the fourth. We are the least counted because no votes are provided. They don't even have our demographic data. They don't have our GIS information. They undersupply us with material. But each census, since I was born till today, from 1953 to today, it has always been fourth largest. We have only Bayelsa State. By grace of God, through my struggle and through Abacha's benevolence. So, the Northerners were the people who insisted, remove zoning from the constitution, let be an issue of the parties.
The Bayelsa senator blamed President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration for the continued neglect of Niger Delta area of the country, saying the people of the area are lacking behind in social amenities.
The Jaws have the fourth largest tribe. We have only one state, and I suffered to get it. Negotiated with Abacha. Now, so many people are enjoying, no problem. But why should the Jaws, fourth largest tribe, have only one state? When the largest, how many do they have? The Yorubas, how many? The Igbos, how many do they have? Then we have an advantage. We are not demanding for equity with parochialism, with pretense. We are funding this country, and we are getting the least local government. We are getting the least state. Why do you expect my children to accept what I accept? Then you now see it, when one boy shoots 3 pipes away, you call him and negotiate. What do you expect the other boys who kept quiet? Stop going to school and go and break pipe and get attention. I've told the Minister of Defense, Minister of Interior, I've suggested to any person or authority that these divide and rule tactics will only encourage more militants to come up, make a threat, either oil company go to beg them, or federal government will surreptitiously beg them. Then the ones they want to kill, they kill. A vicious cycle of demands and threats will keep coming up.
From Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.